Now, I'm alive on this planet when I saw this, and it's incredible because I feel like I got to share this with people. Bioshock, Bioshock. It's getting a movie now. Why is this exciting? Well, the games were fucking peak. The games were fucking peak. Most of the games were fucking peak. Now, even the games that people didn't like were still fucking peak. The writing, the way the characters were, it felt good. It felt great. And it might be, true. It might be a little bit of me idolizing it in my head because, I had interacted with this content when I was younger. And it might be one of those situations. But here we are. The more I think about this, and the more I want it. Because, and this is why I'm excited. This is why I'm maybe a little bit jazzed up. If they can get the writers that wrote the games to do the actual writing for the series, which, who knows? It's Netflix. Who knows? I think it could be really good. Now, the problem is it's Netflix, right? I think that Netflix. Here's why I say that. Netflix has this really... They used to make really good movies and really good series. And then they started canceling really good series for no real good reason to make more content worse. Does that make sense? Why would I make one good series when I could make 5 mediocre ones that people still watch? And because it's Netflix and everything's free, you don't have this hierarchical, like, oh, well, I'm going to watch this one because it's free. This one costs $20, so I'm going to pick this one. Right? You don't have that balance on a platform like this. So when they go with the numbers, it feels more pure, I think. So if I'm going to make up a number. This isn't the real number. Say there's like 10 million people that watch Netflix. Well, 30 days in a month, right? And you usually have 4 hours of free time in a day, at least. At least. Some people do. How much can you watch in that time period, Say that you watch something every other day. I think that the numbers come out kind of wonky because the problem is if you're on the platform and you've already paid for the month and you watch, let's say you only watch one series, that series has more numbers into it, but you could theoretically watch both. And I think what Netflix's problem is everything is on the shelf and it's all equal. There's no higher cost, or there's no like, well, I would do this, but I don't have the extra money. Like, no, it's all free. Everything is free. Everything is equal. And I think it makes people feel like what they choose to do with their time, it's all equal in their head. So there's no way to bounce against it. Like when I say, oh, I want to go to the theaters and watch this. When I say something like that, I'm saying I value this so much that I would take extra money, even though I know it's going to come to streaming, and time, and I'm going to go see this at an inconvenience to myself because I care enough to go. I want to see this thing in theaters. 28 years later, everyone. And that's the problem. Netflix, it's all free. And the same guy who watches a shitty movie from like 40 years ago could also watch this and then say, oh, well, their vote is equal. And if it's not making sense right now, I'll just make it more clear, because this has been a little bit rambly. There's no way to really tell how much people love something on Netflix. Okay? If you looked at the Netflix numbers, you would swear to God that if they made a movie about people with autism falling in love, it would be the number one movie in the entire world by their numbers. But that's not what's actually going on. I think a lot of people are watching that Love on the Spectrum because we've never seen it before. And it's interesting. And it's like, oh, this is autism. And we're seeing that. We're learning from it. And we're like, oh, okay. Like, this makes more sense now. You know what I'm saying? It's not the fact that, because the what you could conclude from it was that we need to invest heavily into a movie about autistic love. But would that movie do really well? No. I don't think it would. I don't think a fake fictional movie with actors that are pretending to be autistic falling in love would do good at the movies at all. I think they would be like, why would you even make this movie? Who is this movie for? But as a reality TV series, it works very well. But I'm saying that the data that they're getting is hard to make a meaningful decision about. So there's been plenty of Netflix series, and tell me in the comments if you've been through this before. Like Altered Carbon was an amazing series. The season 1 was some of the best writing and some of the best setup, and the way that they did the scenes and the way that they made everything look and the way that they solved the actor problem. Like, if this actor did not want to do it anymore, we can switch it out and it would make sense, right? Now, season 2 was a little bit rougher, but I would still say that it still felt pretty good. But they canceled it because why would we put so much money into one really good series when we can make 5 that get about not the same views, right? But they eat up customers' time and they cost so much less. You see what I'm saying? And that's where Netflix has devolved. They used to do series. Netflix, believe it or not, I know that some of you are very jaded now and probably weren't there back a long time ago. Netflix used to do series that, even though it cost a lot of money, it was the only thing that everyone was talking about. No one could shut the fuck up about House of Cards. For years. This was pre all the bullshit that happened. But with this specifically, with Bioshock specifically, we may, if they get the Netflix people, because it really it fucking depends on who's writing this thing, right? But they say we're in a good place. Maybe that's code for them saying like, hey guys, we know, but we're good. But I think a lot of people's sentiment, like, I think a lot of people believe that this series should have gone to Prime because Fallout wasn't, like, in my opinion, Fallout was not a complete miss. When I watched it, it was hokey. But so is Fallout, you know what I mean? So is the series. The games are not meant to be super serious. It's not meant to be anything. There's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of goofiness. There's a lot of like funny characters. It's exactly on par. Just the right amount of seriousness, the right amount of story. And the actors that they got weren't bad by any means. I actually liked, most of what they did. But this show should have gone to Prime, right? Now I know what you're saying. I can say Fallout good, but I have to remember Lord of the Rings bad. True. But most people believe because it's going to Netflix and because of what they did with The Witcher and because of how Netflix is, it's going to get fucked in the ass. And I don't blame them, but I will say it depends on how much involvement. What really comes down is how much involvement with the Bioshock's original writers and the people who actually came up with the story. It depends on how much freedom that they have to be involved. But also, one of the big things that I didn't talk about, I can't believe I didn't think of that. It's a movie. Okay? Don't get me wrong. It's not a fucking series. We're not going to get 10 hours, 10 episodes, where we get to fully explore things. This is going to be a 2-hour something movie. It is not going to be a full series. But here we are. Now, if you think about the aesthetics and you think about how this game was done and you think about all the stuff, they could do a lot of things with this that would be amazing. Because the games, for me, were already like movies. Quite frankly, the games, there was gameplay, but it was just a movie. And, in my, you know what I mean? Like, it was so cinematic and it was so well done. It's like, yeah, I played through the levels, but that was just to get to the next cutscene. And some games are like that. Unfortunately, nowadays, some games are just cutscenes. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it in the comments. Let me know where you fall on all this, what you think about this, because I have a feeling that I nailed exactly what people think on this one. I don't think I'm too far off the base. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm all the way out in left field while everyone else is telling me, well, you're wrong. But I feel like with this, we're on par. But I do think this one, the movie might end up being pretty bad. It could end up being pretty bad. I don't think there's a lot we can do to save it. But anyway, let me know what you think. And if you want to see more of my fat fucking Jack Black face, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button and, watch the other videos.